Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I am also known as the Taropist. And I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we are going to do a full sized love reading for the collective today. And we are going to be looking into the energies that you bring to the connection that you have on your mind, as well as the energies that the person that you have on your mind brings. And then we'll check into a potential outcome as, excuse me, a potential outcome as well. You are always welcome to reverse the roles for you and the other person. I am just picking up on energy here. So if it seems that I have you placed in the wrong position, you may reverse those roles. The potential outcome is always potential because I am just picking up on energy. Any decisions that you or actions that you would take or make in your physical reality are ultimately going to shape your physical reality. Guys, I am going to go into a little bit more about myself and the channel. But for those of you who are not interested in the rest of the introduction here, you may click the timestamp in the pinned comment below and jump right ahead into the love reading, okay? For those of you who are interested in knowing a little bit more about me, again, I am the Taropist. And anything that you would ever need to know about myself or the channel, you can find either in the description box below, the channel description, or you can always check out my community tab. As well, you are welcome to check out my website, which is www.thetarotist.com. At this time, I currently have my Zoom and FaceTime readings closed. Those should be opening shortly, but in the meantime, I do have pre-recorded and email readings available, and that would be the most powerful way for me to be able to pick up on your personal energy and channel specific information for you. However, if you are not interested in a personal reading and would like me to be more likely to pick up on your personal situation in my collective readings, engaging with the channel in some or all ways would be very helpful for me to be able to pick up on that energy. Guys, some easy ways that you can engage with the channel are by liking any of the videos or community tab posts or commenting on any of those items. You can certainly always share any of my content, and my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for me to pick up on your energy for the collective readings is by hitting that little subscribe button below. If you are going to subscribe to the channel, guys, and you would like me to be nope. If you would like to be notified when I do upload or go live in the future, don't forget to hit that little bell notification icon to all. Great. We do have some lawn care guys cruising around, just in case you hear that. My timing is always quite impeccable. Okay, you guys, let's see what we got going on for this reading here. I'm getting an inopportune time, by the way. The timing isn't quite right for something here for your situation. I wish things could be different. Exactly, literally what I was just saying. I don't know why this, like why the timing is off here. This connection is intense. I am not available. Oh. And my love to you is unconditional and genuine. Yeah, so I am getting an inopportune. And then songs remind me of you. So for some reason, it sounds like another connection. Of course, that doesn't always have to be the case. And it does feel like whomever is in a connection currently is not being deceitful to that connection, even though I don't think there is a real love connection happening there for them. We're going to get more on who that might be. And of course, regardless of whichever position that person ends up in the reading, you can always reverse the roles if you feel like, what I'm going to say is, it feels like confirmation for somebody that the person that you feel very magnetically drawn to, or it feels like love. It doesn't feel, I mean, there's physical attraction and sexual attraction and all kinds of attraction, of course, because there's magnetic attraction, and it feels like just attraction on all levels, but it feels like a deep care, like a deep love. That's what it feels like. Okay, deep love. Let's see what we get though. It feels so sweet. It feels so warm. It feels so loving. It feels, oh, I can't really explain this feeling, but it's, yeah, like a best friend, like a family, like you can't find family that cares this much about you. Okay, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. Oh, yeah. So I do feel like it's you that's Like you're the one who they wish they could be with. You got the Three of Swords in your energy. I'm sorry. I'm getting, it's like really sad energy, by the way. And so sweet at the same time. But we're gonna get more because it feels like, oh God, it's so lonely, but they're with somebody, right? You could both be. This isn't like unnatural or shameful. And I do believe whomever is in a connection already is being faithful or loyal to the person that they're currently with, even though I don't think they share a mutual love for one another. Okay, I don't think there is a real love between the two. I think there was a partnership that was created on convenience, okay? Or oh, baby. So the overarching energy, I'm sorry that I'm not saying anything. I'm very rarely at a total loss for words, but this feeling is deeper than most feelings that I get in an energy reading. So it, and then I got the Six of Cups for the overarching energy, which is the feeling that I'm feeling. It feels like a longing for home. It feels separated from like mother at birth or something energy. It feels so longing. It feels so lost. It feels so what's the right word here? Because I don't, of course, like what humans will teach you about connection is to not rely on or need the other, but there is because the same humans will also teach you to make your baby self-soothe at a infant age, and it's absolute it's bad information. It's lies, it's misinformation, and as well, so is the feeling of longing for the love of your life, is never going to be an unhealthy or a toxic situation. Now, longing for everyone or anyone to fill a void that you haven't taken the time to heal on your own is different. But this feels like longing for the love of your life, a true soulmate, somebody who you've been connected to through many lifetimes, and unfortunately, the meeting didn't happen in this lifetime, and it was set up this way until it was too late, until there was something else. By the way, I do feel like you are here to help this person see that there is real love available and that the connection that they're in is not real love. And I even want to go as far as to say that I feel like the person that they are with is using them for resources or something like that. Okay. So in your energy, the Three of Swords, which is about a broken heart or a very painful situation that it feels lonely and longing, and it feels separated from um like the other half of the soul. It feels twin flamey. It feels, I can't really explain this energy because it's so deep. I have felt something similar to this in the third dimension. I felt it with someone before who was very random, and it was what the reason why I ended up doing the healing or starting the healing process, or why I read tarot now. Okay, I started looking into tarot card readings on YouTube, or I actually stumbled upon them. Of course, divine brought them directly to me, and it started to help me heal via knowing the way that that person felt about me only by way of tarot cards, knowing the way like that what I was going through wasn't crazy, and that there was reasons behind it and spiritual reasons and meaning behind what was going on. And that's what it feels like here. So there are reasons behind this and spiritual meaning behind it. And it does feel like a true soulmate, by the way. And it does feel like this person keeps a very strong eye on you. um so oh god, yeah, I just keep hearing like they want to be there for you, right? They want to hold you through this, but they don't want to mislead you, because what they're already committed to is what they're going to remain committed to, because of their they're a person of their word and they've made a commitment. And I want to say that the person that they've committed to is not so committed to them. But we will get more on all of this. That's channeled information. Of course, this could be a friend of yours. um I even sense there could be something about the person that they're with, or that are not being faithful or something like that. I feel like I've gotten this on a recent reading before, guys. Um, and you're not telling them that, not because you don't want them to know the truth, but because you know that there would be some self-interest involved, and you love them too much to feel like you may have manipulated them into leaving a situation. You want them to figure it out on their own. That's very sweet. Again, you can always reverse the roles. You could be in the second position here, and they do not want to tell you what they know about the person that you're with, because they don't want to feel like they manipulated you into being with them. Okay. I do feel like this is a friend of yours, or at least somebody very close and in your community. We have the page of, so the 3 of Cups is what indicates that. The Page of Cups is about vulnerability, and I do feel like this person has you feeling very vulnerable, and I don't know that you've ever shared that with them. And then you got the 6 of Cups twice, so that's your overarching energy, and in your energy clarifying this broken heart. Again, I just keep getting this longing, this feeling of belonging to somebody finally, and then not being able to have that person. And what a sad situation. um like, for the first time in your life, I feel like I want to say you never felt like you belonged to your own family. You never belonged to a peer group. It felt like you never really fit in anywhere, and this person seemed to just, I'm watching you guys come together like puzzle pieces. It just seemed to fit like hand in glove. But then it was never able to you were never able to take it beyond this friendship. Okay, not never able to, by the way. You could have done that in a deceitful way. I do believe either this person has always been in a connection since you've known them, or it seems like every time you come back into connection, for instance, sometimes we come in and out of each other's existence as we're cruising through healing our vibration, and we end up kind of finding each other on different timelines. um in this lifetime, by the way. And it's like, so maybe you'll go anywhere from 1 to 70 years without seeing each other. And when you do reconnect, it's like that feeling never went away. It feels like you, what's that feeling? It's like you didn't skip a beat, right? Except for that every time that you do reconnect, there's something, one of the two of you in a relationship, or starting a business, or something very busy going on, something that would make it impossible for you all to connect in the way that you've always felt deeply connected. Okay. There is a movie coming through, and I've gotten this before in a reading, and it is, I think, I want to say it's Wicker Park, but I don't think that's it. Ugh. Where they, it could be Wicker Park, where they, it's like the relationship. It's exactly what I just described. They keep coming back, and like they keep running into each other on different timelines. They've evolved in separately and in different ways, but they're not quite ready or on the right timeline for the connection to come in. By the way, there is going to be that timeline available, and in this lifetime, it does feel like we're going to get more. But like I said, it seems like you are. Well, let's find out a little more. We got, okay, that does make sense to me. So in the person that you have on your mind's energy, they have the Page of Swords, which about is a card of curiosity, and it does feel like they're kind of keeping an eye on everything you do in the it doesn't necessarily have to be in the public eye, guys. It could be, well, your social medias, this day and age, but it's like they kind of always know what you're up to and where you're at. They're not, I'm not getting an icky stalkery vibe. Although the devil did come out, they could be a Capricorn or a Sagittarius for sure. A Gemini is also here, and they could be any sign, water sign, air sign. All of them are here pretty much, um but it's saying here that there is something that it's like the reason that they're still with somebody that isn't love is because they're still kind of, I want to say, entertaining the devil in themselves, or entertaining their own temptation, learning how to temper out their head and their heart. And also it's like learning how to love themselves so that they're not feeling this temptation to entertain the devil. And then they got the High Priestess and the yeah, it's like they're learning self-reliance here by following their own intuition through a situation. And again, this is why the divine has inspired you, or you feel called to not say anything about what you know about the person that they're currently with. It does feel like this person is not good for them at all. And I feel like they know that. Like, this person does encourage different behaviors that isn't conducive to their best life. But I don't know that they know, but they know that their person is being unfaithful. There's something that they know isn't right, or that they can feel their person not being present. Again, this is because of self-doubt issues or their own self-worth issues that they need to heal and manage on their own. Once you love yourself, you no longer tolerate situations that um because something else is coming through. I saw somebody trying to be very profound and explain something about how it's not that you can't tolerate toxic connections when you've healed, because if you've healed, you can tolerate anything or something like that. It's not you can't tolerate it; it's you won't tolerate it. Okay, so there's not like you can't handle it, which is what this person was insinuating. Once you have healed, you will no longer tolerate. Not you cannot tolerate because you're not emotionally stable. You've healed. And this is what they were trying to prove, that when people say you won't tolerate, but they misunderstood the assignment. Okay. I don't know why I feel like calling that out. Maybe that person's watching this reading, and I'm sorry. I don't think I know everything, but that particular thing is clear as day to me. And when I saw it, it was just like the divine giving me a download about how they're misunderstanding what we're saying when we say when you've healed, you don't tolerate or can't tolerate. Won't is the right word. And whether that's been misprinted or not, once you've done the healing, you will no longer tolerate these kinds of toxic situations. So the healing that they're in the middle of doing is going to help them to see or love themselves or know they're worth enough to walk away from the situation and no longer be tempted by this karmic connection that they are in. So again, it's like they're following their intuition here with this, and learning how to balance their head and their heart. But it feels like something about, I want to say this balance here is like they're learning how to rationalize. I want to say they feel obligated to a situation that they no longer want to be in anyways. I think because they're feeling a longing for you as well, or it's like they finally feel what love, um there's a song coming through. I want to know what love is. I am not in a singing mood today, guys, and my voice, I don't know what is going on. It must be some allergies or something, but also maybe I'm just not the best singer. But in either case, Foreigner, I want to know what love is. It's such a, there's like the tune in that song is like what it, and like this heart beating fast, and there's like a, it's such a sad longing that I feel the two of you having for one another here. But they feel very psychically connected to you, and like they're with you at all times energetically. But right now they're just learning how to balance their own head and their heart and set boundaries for themselves and recognize um when okay, because they're kind of confusing integrity with um unhealthy attachment and toxic connection, okay, or toxic what's this right word here? It's like a what it's like a not a soul tie, but there's like a entanglement or something like that. They're having a hard time feeling okay walking away from a situation that they've previously committed to, even though they know that this person isn't necessarily the best for them, or isn't even near the best for them, isn't good for them. They're not, I want to say, by the way, they are also acknowledging that they are not good for that person either, because they're not right for each other. Okay, so I feel like they both bring out the worst in one another because they're not meant to be. And I think they're taking on some guilt there, like, well, I'm the one who's doing this wrong, and so this is my fault, and this is not their fault, and I shouldn't leave them. And they're ironing all of this out. This Temperance card is that for me. They're going back and forth on whether or not, trying to figure out what is a healthy boundary, what integrity means, and loyalty, and how you can, sometimes the most integral thing that you can do is walk away from a situation that you're no longer invested in. Okay. We got the Two of Cups here in the outcome. This the Knight of Swords into the Two of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, love that energy. Okay, so the Knight of Swords is about kind of like quick action. It's like when this does actually shift here, when they finally realize their worth and recognize that um loving yourself means walking away from things that you maybe previously committed to because it's the best for you, the betterment of your own life. It's like your own well-being. Um, and that we've never been actually asked to stay committed to a situation that is destroying us in every sense of the word, or internally is what came through, but externally in all areas. And then we got the Five of Swords and the Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's like as soon as they kind of stop self-sabotaging here, I keep getting that there's this very solid connection. It's just a connection that you can't make up, right? It's either there or it's not. And the two of you have felt it since the moment you laid eyes on one another. But there has been, and again, some of you, this is a newer connection that you felt immediately like you knew this person for your entire life. And I want to say entire lifetimes. And you genuinely have with the Six of Cups as your overarching energy. This is a past life connection, or a connection that's certainly been around in this lifetime for a long time. But for those of you who have just met this person and immediately recognize them as a soul connection, or you don't even have to be, that doesn't have to be on a conscious level, but you felt something for them that you have not felt for people that you've known your entire life. So immediately you were like, the safety in their energy was like home, right? And that's called a soul recognition, by the way. And that's what happens when a soulmate enters our life, where we feel like we can finish each other's sentences, or even if we never speak to one another, it's almost like we can hear what the other is saying or wants to say. Um, Anyways, so it's saying here, once this person, you or them, whoever's in the second column here, is able to see that leaving isn't actually being disloyal or unintegral. It is what we are asked to do to care for ourselves and protect our own energy and our own vessel. Um, I want to say like treating our body like a temple. Okay. So once we really realize that staying in connections that are toxic for us or bringing us down or holding us back, staying in those connections, it doesn't make us loyal or integral. It just means that we don't respect or love ourselves the way that we are supposed to. We've been taught to not, by the way, we've been taught to put other people before our own well-being. And that's never what the divine wants from us. So again, it feels like things are going to move very quickly into this love connection. I can see you like literally going from this kind of like this person leaving and then letting you know that they've always felt this way about you, and then moving into what together, okay, or completely aligning your two lives, your two paths kind of coming together. And I'm getting like all paths have always led to you or something like that. But there is a something about this need to stop self-sabotaging by trying to stay convicted to something that you've been told is the right way to be. They want you to listen to your heart here. Okay. There is a very solid foundation for the connection that you have on your mind, but they need you guys to listen to your heart and not to what like the external sources are telling you about, I want to say, love and marriage or commitment. And never again are we ever supposed to stay in a commitment that is holding us back, pulling us down, making us feel unworthy, making us feel, and it's almost like the longer this person stays in this connection, the worse they feel about themselves, and the harder it is for them to believe that they deserve something like you or someone like you. There's a meme coming through, or a quote coming through that I will try to post over on my community tab because I can't really remember it, but it's something to the effect of, the man who actually deserves you is the one who thinks he doesn't. Oh, it's so sexy and so sweet, but they don't even think they deserve you. You are so on a pedestal to them. But this is the other reason that they've had a hard time leaving the connection that they're in, is because they kind of feel like that's the level that they're at. And by the way, the two of them bring out the worst in one another. So they are on the same frequency because of that. Them walking away and leaving this connection because they know that it's what's best for them is what is going to elevate them into the proper frequency for you two to come into connection together. Okay. I hope this all makes sense for you. I love you so much. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your energy in future readings. Mwah.